Rockets! Today we're going to read a story called Rosie's Walk. Rosie's Walk is a story which is great to read for connections to mapping because in this story, Rosie the red hen will move around her farm. As we read, we'll notice the ways that she moves. We'll also notice how someone moves along following behind. All right, let's get started. This is Rosie's Walk by Hutchins. As we read, we'll notice the ways that Rosie moves around her farm. We'll also notice what happens to the character who's prowling around behind her. That's the fox. Let's get started. Rosie the hen went for a walk. You can see here that Rosie's leaving her hen house and there's someone hiding under. The fox is hiding under the hen house, waiting for Rosie to leave. I notice that he's licking his lips. What does it mean when someone licks their lips? It might mean that they're hungry. Oh dear, I think the fox wants to eat Rosie. Let's see what happens next. She walked across the yard. Oh, phew! The fox was right behind her, jumping to try and pounce on Rosie, but instead he landed on a rake. I think that was pretty lucky for Rosie. Around the pond. Oh no, notice the fox right behind her. He's pounced. It looks like he's going to land right on top of Rosie. Splash! Rosie saved again. Phew! Over the haystack, and again, the fox looks like he's almost about to catch Rosie. What do you think will happen next? It seems like every time the fox tries to pounce on Rosie, she manages to just get away, and the fox ends up in a silly situation. Now he's inside of the haystack. She went past the mill. Are you noticing anything about Rosie right now? As she walks past the mill, I'm noticing it looks like that string or small rope is stuck around her ankle. I hope that doesn't help the fox catch her. Oh, instead, the fox wound up beneath all of that flour. Every time he tries to catch Rosie, something happens to him, and I'm so relieved for Rosie. She went through the fence. Maybe the fox has either landed in the wagon or he decided to get in the wagon to move a little faster. What do you think will happen now that the fox is in the wagon? Do you think that he'll catch Rosie a little faster? Let's see. She went under the beehives, but look, the fox is close behind her in the wagon. Unfortunately, I see something happening to the beehives. They're all being knocked over. Oh no. And now the bees are chasing the fox who knocked over their hives. And Rosie the hen got back in time for dinner. And that is the end of our story. This is back where we started again. She made it back in time for dinner without being caught by the fox. The fox went through a lot of different situations trying to catch Rosie. He landed on a rake and got bonked. He tried to catch her at the pond, but splash, he landed inside instead. As Rosie went over the haystack, the fox pounced and landed inside the hay. He got covered in a pile of flour. He knocked over the beehives and got chased by bees, and that helped Rosie make it home safely. All right, Rockets, that was Rosie's walk. If you're feeling pretty relieved that as Rosie moved around the farm and as that fox moved around behind her, that the fox kept running into all of those obstacles that stopped him from pouncing on Rosie, you can wipe your brow and say, shoo. I really like that story, especially paying attention to the fox and all of the things that happened to him. They're pretty funny. I hope you enjoyed it too, and I will see you for our next story. Bye, Rockets.